Hello there, dear listeners of the Board Game Snobs podcast. I'm Gabi, chief editor and CEO, executive producer, primary host of the show. Okay, I'm going to cut to the chase. We don't have an episode for you this week, not a fresh new episode, but we do have a classic throwback. This one is the first episode Bubba made his appearance. And this is the first episode, therefore, that all four of us were on the show at the same time. It's a fun one. I enjoyed listening to it. I reveled in the memories as I listened to this episode. It was a fun time. So enjoy this. I mean, sure, you could just go back to our archives and download it from episode 48, but I thought I'd bring it to you. You don't have to go searching. I'm bringing it to you. Also to freshen up the feed. Get them clicks. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
Go.
So welcome to the broadcast of the Board Game Snobs. I am Hans, a.k.a. the Bubs, the GQ with our brothel lights hanging up, all red and white. Thank you for coming.
Okay, so that we brought up.
What is going on?
He said he wanted it sexy. I did a sexy intro.
Two things.
Red light district.
I know, man. I did my deep voice. I did my Barry.
All right, well, that was a good Barry.
Thank you,
I did
man.
want to address this. Number one, this is the sexiest podcast about board gaming.
Yeah.
Also, why do we have red lights? Why
We
do you
do
have a
have red
lamp
lights.
that is red
Don't worry about
It
that.
is brothel-like.
tinted? You have brothel lights.
Brothel-like.
Don't worry about that.
I didn't know that they had that type of shade when I bought it, but I kind of like it.
I know, right? Sets the mood, right? Sets the mood, right? We all romantic.
Ambiance.
Good
It's a sexy
ambiance.
mood
Right?
for a sexy podcast.
Well,
That was Bubba.
that was
as he
Bubba.
said.
The elusive Bubba for which we are always referencing.
Our first time recorded.
First time recording with us in the studio, as well as Jerry, who's always here, Gabi, who is currently drinking, and Enrique.
What? Thanks.
Oh no! Go ahead, introduce yourself.
That was just wonderful.
How's
You
your
made that-
kidney?
My
Enrique,
kidney.
Enrique.
Yeah.
Quit messing with the ramekins. Get your
Well,
hands
they're
off them.
here in front of me.
Get your hands
you know
off the ramen.
how I am with things. I have to mess with them if they're in front of me. It's just
Well,
how
he
I
does
am.
have sleeves on today. He is not wearing an undershirt, and I can see your body.
My
His godlike.
It's a very
body.
thin white shirt you're wearing.
But he is
he's
wearing
from Greece.
sleeves.
no, it's a very transparent shirt. It's not thin. It's just very transparent.
That's what are
Don't
those
worry.
interchangeable?
I don't know.
That's what we like about you, Enrique. You're very transparent.
That's right.
And why are we having 4 people on the podcast today? Why? Because you've got 2 extra snobs. You got Enrique and you got Bubba.
Snobby snob.
This is
Robin Hood.
Wait a minute.
I think it's not.
Snobbert Redford.
Really? This is what
Bed snobs and broomsticks.
And there he goes.
this is what we're going to talk about today.
Oh.
This is our Viking podcast because we have Viking listeners.
Boom.
They like to snob and pillage.
Stop. No.
It's dope.
I've done some. Okay, well,
You might as well just say this Viking theme is now ruined.
it's not ruined. You can't
What do you mean
ruin
it's
a
ru-
Viking theme.
I thought it was quite glorious.
The very thing about Vikings is that they bring other people to ruin.
That's true.
That's exactly what this is. And in this podcast, we're going to be reviewing 3 games for which we have recently played. Actually, not just recently played. We've played again. Vikings 878.
Yes.
Is it 878 or 868?
Oh, 878.
878.
878.
Champions of Midgard.
878 AD.
Ammo, Domini. Anno.
Domini. Okay, thank you for that.
Anno for year. The base word for anniversary.
I feel Denva writing us an email right now to straighten you out, just to make sure.
We could do like basic research on
Isn't
what
that
AD
Latin?
stands
Isn't that
for.
Latin?
It is Latin.
So technically, I'm sure we're not saying it right.
We're not saying it right.
Yes.
Have we ever pronounced anything Latin correctly? We also not
E
only
pluribus
No.
out of many
means
one.
the cheese.
That sounds like
No,
hair.
it doesn't.
That sounds like hair.
Let's do the big cheese.
E
Sounds like
pluribus.
Yes.
That's on the money.
Yes.
No, that's out of many one. That just never mind. Why am I even
So
talking?
yeah, so yeah, I didn't know what it meant.
What we are going to talk about is those 3 games: the Vikings 7.8, 7.3.5, Champions of Midgard, and Raiders of the North Sea.
Raiders.
So,
You do realize I've only played one of them.
name's Mike.
well, you're here for the important one, which is Vikings 878.
Who's your favorite Viking of all time?
My favorite Viking?
Yeah.
It would be Michael Douglas in Vikings.
Michael Douglas.
Yes, Michael Douglas. He played Viking. Give me a moment. He was the son of the chieftain. He got his.
What are you talking about?
You don't remember that show? It was like during the Spartacus days. He did Spartacus, but around that same time, he did a show just called Vikings, and
My
it was.
favorite one is Dante Culpepper.
Is that a football reference?
Yes, sir, that is.
So, like, literally 3 of our listeners are going to get that.
I got it.
Well, there's 2. There's 2.
I got it.
Is he a Minnesota Viking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask y'all this.
How is that related?
No, not how's that related. But are there actually Vikings in Minnesota?
Yes. Randy Moss.
No, I'm
Wolfswine.
talking about not the sports franchise. I'm talking about actual people of Viking descent.
Were they not called something else first, and then they came up with Vikings? Isn't that what it was, like in the 80s?
I have no idea. Well, that's like, are there Raiders in Los Angeles?
well,
I know.
well, yes. You wait till electricity go down, and everybody is a Raider.
That's true. That's true.
But being back to Minnesota, is there
Minnesota?
actually
Minnesota.
people
Are there
that are-
actually Vikings there?
from Viking descent? I want to know.
I'm sure there are lots of people from Viking descent, as per the way the Vikings operated. So
I'm not
sure.
getting your subtle message.
They well,
Well, but the reason I bring this up is that apparently everybody in Iceland are
Leaf, the Red.
Leaf.
Wasn't he one?
Leaf the
Leif
Red.
Erickson
Leaf Erickson.
or
The
Ryan Leaf,
phone guy?
one of those two.
No, Leif Erickson. He's the guy that came over and discovered. He was the guy from Norway. He came over and discovered this before Columbus.
Oh,
He was the one that apparently he's the guy that found America before Columbus
everybody
did.
else did.
But nobody had. He was like, that's
he
not.
didn't call dibs though.
Yeah, he should
apparently.
have. Y'all should have got.
They did Canada, right?
Yeah,
They hit Canada.
We
did all
claim
that.
they
Canada.
should have done
Yeah.
that. Should have got that line.
And Chris is like dibs on America.
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. Is it
Yes,
Newfoundland?
It was Newfoundland.
Yeah.
If he just went south a little bit,
Well,
this could be
They
Viking
did.
country.
They did. You know, I think Columbus really only. did
Speaking
South
of
America.
Vikings, we have a couple that follow us now.
yes, from
from Minnesota.
is it Greenland or
Iceland.
Iceland?
Iceland? Oh,
Revnik.
Iceland.
What's the
Iceland.
capital of Iceland?
Reykjavik.
Reykjavik.
Oh, and he wanted us to try and pronounce his name.
His name is very easily to pronounce. It is Kristoffer Jorgensen.
Christopher Jorgensen.
Yes.
That was easy.
I think that's it.
You know, they say learning
I
that
love how
language is
you
one of the
said
hardest
that.
ways.
What?
It's hard to learn that.
To learn
Christopher?
Kristoffer?
Yeah, I mean, just to say anything. From
It's actually-
Is his brother Valdi?
His brother's Vald the Viking.
Oh.
Kristoffer is the brother of Vald. And apparently they have a board game convention over there called Midgard.
Oh yeah, I read that one.
Midgard.
Yeah,
Midgard.
it's pretty
How do you
cool.
pronounce his name, Bubba?
Where
Give it a try.
can I try the last name?
Do the
Yes.
last name.
That's what we want you to try.
I got this. Goose Johnson or something?
Yes, exactly.
Spot on.
Is that spot on?
What's the first one?
Christopher?
Christopher. It's like Christopher,
If we
but
keep
with
saying
fur.
it, it
Yeah.
will be true.
Yeah.
It's Christopher with the fur.
I just want to say,
There's
forgive
Chris
me.
with the
There's
fur.
Boots
Yeah,
with
with
the
the-
fur, and then there's Christopher.
As you heard that, please forgive me because I know I butchered that.
you
I
say
butchered
fleece
of a
forgive
butcher.
me?
Please forgive
That's what
me.
the Vikings did.
We're shouting out to all of our northern brethren.
What's up, peoples?
Oh, and then Hammam from Saudi Arabia.
We've gone international.
We are worldwide.
We are
much like Pitbull.
Yes, except slightly. You have more hair than
I've
Pitbull.
got a little bit more hair than he
You got a little
does,
bit more hair
and
than
twice
Pitbull.
the moves.
And you actually
have
sound better
more hair
than
than
Pitbull.
any
He
of
needs
I do.
auto
You
tune.
need.
So, what episode is this?
This is episode
Oh.
48.
48.
So
48?
very, very memorable. 48 for those two people. There you go. Booyah. Made it special.
I think Bubba's saying move on.
No, I'm just
He's
saying
saying
it's great.
don't appeal to
It's
just two
great.
people.
It's
Move
48.
on
Hey,
for the
man.
mass market.
It's for you guys.
Chris Soultrain sent us an email. Yes, he's requesting, of course, Enrique to come back, which is a thing.
It would
huge
make sense
mistake.
that he would do a request with the name Soul Train.
Yeah. I have a question. I have a question for Mrs. Soultrain. I need to know, and I need an email sent to boardgamesnobs@gmail.com. I need to know, is she Team Jerry or is she Team Gobby? That's very important. Because
Everybody's Team Jerry.
not everybody.
No.
And now that we've thrown Enrique in
You're
the mix,
salty.
and now you got
Everybody likes your
now you got
saltiness.
Bubba's in the mix.
I
Now
mean,
Bubba's here.
I should be in the mix.
Bubba's
Bubba, I don't know if you know this, but we talk about you on a fairly regular basis, and you've never appeared.
Well, I was
You're our IT guy.
I was in the prequel though.
he was in the
I was in the
prequel.
prequels. Was I not?
True.
Yeah, he
That's
was.
true.
He was.
That
So-
counts.
And he was technically.
And as our IT guy, what have you done for us lately?
Not a lot. Not a lot. I have been observing and making notes.
All right, this is
We
what
tried.
happened when you left and stopped being the sound guy. We had a soundboard that he installed that literally was nothing but fart noise.
And we rated the top 2 first. We did. Things went bad there for a while.
It went bad.
Brought it back.
went very bad, and so we finally kind of got that under control.
Okay. That's
I would love to have a soundboard, but I don't.
Can you control yourself?
No,
can't.
I feel
no.
You know you
I'd,
can't.
I'd be go full radio morning DJ.
We are done with the banter. We
Clap
cleared
noises.
the banter. Done.
Okay.
You know,
We are
benches
moving
never-
on.
agree.
We may have to edge out, so we're going to talk
This
about.
where Jerry takes off his glasses and closes his eyes and gets serious.
Here we go.
Take a drink.
Take a drink.
Glasses off.
This episode brought to you by Monkey Shoulders.
do you
Monkey
think?
Shoulders.
Can you do that?
What?
Can you just call out somebody and say you brought it?
I bought this. Gobby
okay.
bought this scotch.
Okay.
I'm drinking this scotch. This scotch is helping me podcast. Thus, this podcast
I feel you.
is being assisted by Monkey Shoulders. It's a
Gotcha.
scotch. How old of a scotch, Gobby? Not that old.
Batch 27,
That doesn't.
smooth and rich,
It does not. It doesn't give the age.
That's-
rooted in malt whiskey history.
It's rooted.
It doesn't say how old it is.
I really like Monkey Shoulders. For the price, this is probably one of my.
How much it costs?
How much is this? It's not very much.
Here at the local liquor store, which is severely overpriced, it was like $39.
Oh, okay. I can understand that.
But if you go to Dallas, you could probably get it for 30.
Nice. Monkey Shoulders, for those in the know. We're going to talk about Vikings 878, which was a game that Bubba and I and Enrique played at BGG last year.
Yes, sir.
We loved it.
It was great.
We bought it.
Wonderful.
Gobby griped about it. Didn't want to play it. Today, we convinced him to play it.
Huzzah.
Enrique,
Yeah,
I'll go with you. Tell me what you thought about Vikings.
I loved it. Like, because I played it as the Vikings, you have to put a lot of pressure on the defending team. So much pressure where they have to make very, very smart decisions to like defend themselves against the evading berserkers and Vikings and all that. And it was great. And with me and Bubba on a team, and then you and Gobby as the Britons, if they can,
We were the Thanes and the House Carls. I don't know what a Thane or a House Carl is, but I will say this. According to the game, the Thanes tend to run and flee the battlefield quite often.
Live to fight another day, I say.
Live to fight another day. I regress back to describe Vikings briefly for those who are not in the know. I believe it's made by Academy Games, and if you're familiar with their franchise of what's the other game that they had, like 1776?
Mare Nostrum?
No, I'm talking about
not
other
Maelstrom.
other games in lines with it. I think it's 1776 was one.
Yeah,
But they make these historical war games that are particularly simple with mechanics, but are in depth with the
Advanced
strategy.
Risk.
Basically, advanced risk is what Gobby likes to
Art
call
of
it.
War.
Advanced. Is that actual mechanic?
No, it's just what Gobby likes to say. So in this game, it is actually a 4-player game. It can be 2-player or 3-player, but mainly it's best when you have 4 people, 2 on each side, one being the invading Vikings, the other people being the defending Britons. The Britons get their reinforcements every time they have their turn, and so they slowly build up armies, whereas the Vikings each turn flip a card over and land scads of Vikings onto a random shore or a shore of their choosing. And the game is basically to be able to control a certain amount of areas through a certain amount of time. This is a very broad description of it, but you each have your own custom dice, and the dice are either you inflict damage or you flee. And it's very comical when your entire army who is winning decides to start fleeing. Needless to say, there was a lot of running away on Gobby's,
On your part.
on our part.
Run away, live to fight another day.
I
that's
just
what
went
I
in there
say.
for blood. I loved it because I killed everyone.
I like how you did the sword making.
I like that how he starts making gestures with
Cervantes sword gesture.
Yes, very good, Savant. Bubba, what did you think about the game?
Well, first of all, let me say I'm a tad bit biased because I won, but I think
always helps.
Yeah, it always helps. You need a little bias to it. For what would you say, a simulation dice rolling area control game. I love the game because it's simple, it's easy. Dude, you can pick it up, start playing it, and you get it like instantly. And that's the great thing about it. But it's hard because, man, you got to think it through.
I will say that this game is particularly light in the mechanics. Like
Yes.
once you have learned this game, it was almost a year ago when we
Yes.
played it. It was very intuitive.
Yes.
That time, and
And
then
it was
picking it up a year later,
Was seamless.
it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
After a 20-minute Rodney video.
Well,
we did,
I
but
think
we watched that
Oh, that's
Rodney video
fine.
for you.
Fine.
yeah,
We
that's
watched-
true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why
I
didn't
went
you
to
just
sleep.
tell me?
I went halfway to sleep on that video. to
And
be
you
honest
know
with
Enrique
But
didn't listen to it. You
I
know I
learned
didn't.
better from
I was,
Jerry.
I was in my Scottish shock.
So the
You're what?
I drink. I was in shock.
oh,
I was in Scottish shock.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Gotcha. Go.
Well then,
So please don't take about 20% off there, Gabby, on the dad jokes there. You're killing me. This game has an interesting mechanism where you just have 3 cards in your hand. You play that card and it depicts how many armies you can move and how far you can move those armies, and it's up to you to kind of decide. It being a team game, your partner can at times make moves that are not
ideal.
not ideal. And it's difficult that have to let your partner be the one to decide, well, I'm going to go here and I'm going to take our armies and march up north and leave our
But it's
soft
fun to watch.
underbelly open for...
You're just throwing out a random example.
I'm just
though,
throwing
right?
this out.
A random example.
And you could see how somebody who is perhaps a type A personality, who likes to essentially come up with plans far ahead of time, would have difficulty playing this game with somebody who drives off with more of emotion and tends to, see something shiny and pursue it.
Again,
Like
just a
me.
random
This
example.
is a
though.
random example.
Random examples.
And how at the very last, victory can be snatched from you just by one simple area that you happen to lose control of because you don't have the required armies, because they have apparently been set up north on some sort of recon mission to secure some area that wasn't that important. Just as an example.
Again, a random
I
example.
feel like you're recapping on
Rhetorical.
on our last
Rhetorical.
game.
So, I love this game. The reason that it doesn't get played in our group is because I love this game. Enrique loves this game. Bubba loves this game. There's a certain person here who does not love this game. I'm not going to say any name.
Well, in this hypothetical scenario, I would
Could I say
say
it?
that that if it had worked, it would have been a brilliant moves on the northern trajectory. We'll say
Yes.
and
But
effort there.
gladly
If
that
he had
didn't
won
happen.
it out, it would have been brilliant.
Little did I know the Thanes like to run at every battle.
Yes,
Run.
yes, you
Run,
were
baby, run.
You were dice played, shall we say?
Dice plagued.
Yes.
Wow. Gabi,
They were scared.
tell me your thoughts on the game, because you griped about it most of the time. And I don't know why you don't like it, because you had so much fun playing it. But
'Cause
as soon
it's
as it was
dice
over,
rolling. What do you
you were
mean?
just bellowing about it.
I have come to accept the fact that I am just a Euro guy.
You have?
Like, that's what I like. I like the games that you're collecting this, collecting that, purchasing this. That's just my style. And I used to think that war games would be my thing. Oh, would that be a war game? It's a
They're
risk
not.
game.
That's a risk game, right?
But I mean, you're battling.
Well, that's true. But people don't die.
You're rolling dice, you're battling. Yes, I did enjoy it. But at the same time, no. Like, there's something missing to me. And I don't know what it is.
There was
I don't know.
It was.
It's it doesn't scratch an itch that I have.
There was no trading in the Mediterranean.
There was no trading. I needed to sell some wine and cloth and purchase some victory points. I couldn't do it.
I'm going to just let him rest for a moment.
Okay.
And talk to you, Bubba, about
Okay.
this. So just let's just recap what this man just said.
Okay.
I'm a Eurogamer, as he gesticulates and says that doesn't quite understand what he's missing. I'm not a war gamer. This man
Hey,
text me
you don't have to do this.
while I am in a movie theater
We'll go in there.
with
to
my
do this.
children watching Dumbo.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I
And
was there for
says,
this.
guess what I just ordered? I think I'm going to get into some more gaming. I said, what are you talking about? He ordered Cuba Libre,
There you
the
go.
coin series, and was it
I need to
Command?
investigate
was it-
further. Command Battle Commander. I don't know.
No, the Commander Europe. Not Field Commander.
It's not Field
Commander.
Commander. It's not Field Commander. Is it?
It's
I know
the-
what Field Commander is.
Anyways,
I've seen that
so
one.
he started ordering these chits and hexagonal war games and counterinsurgency.
Oh, wow.
No dice, though, see?
No dice. Because that's what sold him and says, I think we need to do an episode. We need to try out something new.
A little
So
different.
this Eurogamer, which I'm shocked.
You're all the way. Hey, both those games happen in Europe, except Cuba.
Huh?
Western Europe is Cuba.
No, he's looking more like Rado each and every day.
Oh, wow.
Just turning into
But-
a wuss, trade some
But-
stuff.
If we were talking about our types of games we like to play, it's just, I think every one of us has a favorite type of type of game that has a certain play style.
See, I don't know if I have a certain type of game. It may be because I don't play it all the time like you guys.
Yeah.
I enjoy a game for the most part if everybody around me enjoys the game. For some reason, that is a big thing, a big draw for me. I do have particular games that I'm fond of, but that's my 10 cents. So it depresses me that Gabi didn't have the greatest fun.
I had a good time.
I mean, I'm sure you had a good time.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be going on a second date though. That's what you're saying.
I would say.
Oh, snap.
I would say.
Oh, snap.
See, this is how you kick up the sexiness on the podcast. Yeah, go ahead.
Even though, like,
Increase the drama.
if we had played. What are you doing?
Keep your hands and your
Stop.
chicken fingers to
Stop
yourself.
rubbing
And this is why it's a bad idea
This
to
is
do the
why
video.
you don't come on the podcast that
So-
often.
Yet the
If we
people
had
want-
played 878 again right then, which I didn't want to,
Yeah.
but I think if I did, I would have enjoyed it more because I would know how the game plays.
I get it. That makes sense.
The way the game played, I was just over like, oh, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. Because
Yeah.
like the Vikings just blow up every shore and just run. But I understand it's a game of, well, the English just need to survive.
Yeah.
And I think if I played it again, I might enjoy it more now that I understand it. Because even the video was like, Rodney went on for 20 minutes about this, and that, but it's way super simple.
Yeah.
You play a card, you reinforce if you can,
It's super simple. Yeah.
and roll your dice and fight.
Yeah.
Or
pretty much.
move. That's
Pretty
it.
much.
And I think if I played it again, I might enjoy it a little bit more. It's kind of that learning curve, even though it's a very simple game. I'm a simple guy.
I feel
And
you.
I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this then. Do you think that if you had a different partner as well, you might have enjoyed it
Well,
more?
you know, some partners can be
Not throwing it out there, but
harsh and judgmental. And, you know.
Let's just say that
Wow.
Gabi
I'm not the only one that
and
lost
Jerry have
battles.
never been
Just
a very-
saying.
Oh, I would go in
Very
this.
He
functional
wins.
team.
Jerry
Just say
had
that.
I think we supported each other.
Oh yeah, like we got it. Like
Well,
we,
that's a
we
mistake.
communicated.
It's a mistake to put me on a team with Jerry in the first place because we're just going to
Obviously.
argue no matter what.
Y'all did good though. I will say that that game ended great. It
Like-
ended great. Well, yeah, it could have ended even better, but it
Like-
ended good.
Like me and Bubba just kind of like did our thing, and I did.
You're
a
very
cou-
simpatico.
I did a couple of.
I
good
whispered in his
moves.
ear. He whispered in my ear.
Like
Me and Jerry didn't whisper. We hollered.
Wow.
there was like one move I didn't notice that was really good, but he was able to notice, and I was like, oh yeah.
But as far as a Viking themed game, I like it. It makes sense. As opposed to Champions of or For
Of.
Midgard. We attempted that one again.
Yeah.
And it's like you can battle these monsters and trolls and but it's not exciting at all. Like I would take 878 any day, any time over Champions of Midgard. And Champions of Midgard is supposed to be like this worker placement game that everybody loves because you can worker place stuff, and at the same time you can go battle, you can roll dice. It's boring. We've tried it again.
We weren't even halfway, and then like
Again, we're like
Jerry was about to go fight a monster, but then it's like, hey, it seems like you forgot some food for your troops.
My Vikings died on the boat ride over.
Oh, wow.
It was very.
he forgot to pack.
I forgot to pack.
Letdown.
They had their mindset on one thing.
This is
They forgot to pack food.
this is my thing.
No sandwiches for the Vikings.
Do
Not
Vikings?
sandwiches.
What do Vikings eat?
Apparently, just
obviously.
raw pieces of meat.
Fish.
In people's lives.
Well, okay. I don't think
I
those
think
in
that's
Greenland
like-
don't do that now. I think they
That's like a
probably they have a
form of,
Tesco or
like-
something.
They have Tesco.
They have a
Okay.
Tesco.
They're modernized.
They don't have Walmart like we do. They've
Been
Tesco.
gentrified.
They've got Tesco.
They have Texaco and all
Okay,
that.
quick question.
Go ahead.
What?
Oh, quick question. Another query.
Query, you say?
What defines a Viking?
Wasn't they nomadic people?
Well, they were just essentially people who realized, boy, hang on a minute. Denva's going to have to, I feel her firing up. She's going to have to email me and tell me
Please
how
do.
wrong I am. But Vikings are not so much nomadic, but I would assume that they are. But they raided. They knew where they had to go to get their resources. I think they were not so much like colonialism, but they were more of a seafaring, traveling explorers.
Do we call them Vikings in retrospect, or was that what they were called then?
I don't know. I think they may have been. I think they labeled themselves.
I think they were really like different factions at the time.
Yeah, I
right?
don't think that they were
It wasn't
as coordinated
like
as
in-
the Vikings in Minnesota.
Even when we're playing that game, it's calling them Norsemen.
Norsemen.
Yeah.
So what is that? Is
But
that
they were
a,
from the, because
is
they
that
were
a
from,
Because they were
specific
from the north.
country?
No, that was
Or is
because
it
they
a-
were Northmen.
North.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
way.
They were from that way.
Like
So
uh,
just a general area
yeah.
of people,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
considered
Much like-
Norsemen
And-
slash
and
Vikings.
they-
kind of like
and
how
they
we
were pirates.
consider people from Iowa.
So they just decided we don't
Or
like the
Norsemen.
title
Or people from out
Northmen.
west. We
So
say
we decided to go
Californians.
with,
yeah, that was from
with the title
LA.
Viking.
Yeah. Where's he
pretty
from?
much
He's
what it
out
was.
west.
He's out west.
Enrique, something you need to learn. Enrique talks steady.
Is Enrique
Well,
talking?
everyone's-
He was talking.
Did he?
We were talking with him. It was a harmonic cadence.
When other people are talking, Enrique just having a conversation. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I need to turn someone's mic off. It's going to be very confusing.
The thing that there's many misconceptions about Vikings, and I don't know.
yes.
I like, for instance, their helmets didn't have horns.
For the people up north, because we're talking about you, the north one, they were like super whatever people. Astrologists. I mean, they could navigate the seas. They were the best at it. They had some of the best technology at the time. And the great thing about it,
like
unlike,
what?
I mean,
A pointier stick?
I mean, they were serious. But you realize
Technology.
that unlike,
What they have back then besides boats?
well, here's the funny thing. People,
I got the fastest
people
boat.
don't. Well,
Like,
people
I'm
don't.
limited. I am very
Denva's
limited.
just rolling.
people don't.
just rolling right now.
People don't see it this way, but unlike the Europeans who pretty much conquered everybody and took over everything and, enslaved generations of people, the Vikings could have done that if they wanted to, and yet they got their stuff, looted, and went back home,
Which is the best type of
So they
which is the
didn't
best
settle.
type of looter.
They didn't settle.
No, they didn't come over and conquer
They just
people.
got what they wanted and went back home.
But they also didn't loot. Oftentimes, they traded with people. They were actually pretty cool about that. So, by the way, there's a show on Discovery Channel. Very important. The Search for Skull Island. Update you on some of this. Very insightful. And
Where
so-
King Kong lives?
yeah, right.
That
No
one.
doubt that
As soon as we find him.
So, peace up, Discovery Channel. Thank you.
I like the Discovery Channel. I was watching. I like
Too many animal shows.
I like the animal shows. All right,
don't.
my
They get
kids
hurt.
collect. My kids. All right,
I don't want to see a baby bear die.
you started this,
Or a
but my
cub.
kids collect. Like they have like stuffed animals, and occasionally they get these weird stuffed animals. And so Jack the other day got a narwhal. You know what a narwhal is?
No.
It's like a dolphin. It's got that long. It looks like a horn coming out of their head,
Oh, yeah.
but that's
Oh, yeah.
not a horn. That's their left tooth. That's actually a tooth. It's just that big horn coming out of their forehead. Anyways,
Wow.
I did the dad joke of the century just a few days ago. He comes into here and says,
something on porpoise.
no, he says, no, better. He says, Dad, I can't find my narwhal. Help me. And I walked around looking. I said, he's narwhal to be found. That was like 3 days ago. I have laughed about that every single day. I have thought about that. And that's how you know you have entered this stage in your life where you just, those jokes mean
Need something to you.
now.
That's right. That's a moment.
Used to, they're irritating.
Yeah.
Now they're wonderful.
Yes. So
Your
did
kids
Jack
roll their eyes.
Did Jack laugh at it? Is what I
No,
wonder.
he didn't get it. But that he's narwhal
He's
to be
just a
found.
boy.
He doesn't
Just a boy.
understand, but at someday
When he's a
he'll
man
know.
and he's a
He'll
father.
understand. To backpedal on this,
Yes.
I approve Vikings 878.9. Vikings.
Gabi?
I love it. I think it is
I
probably...
don't right now, but
If
I
I
could
had
after
had
another play.
Vikings back in the day instead of Risk, this is what I've been playing. It's
Oh, yeah.
simple. It's great.
Oh yeah.
We talked briefly about Champions of Midgard. Now, we might as well just kill some sacred cows while we're out here.
Oh, well.
Well, I mean, we've done it. We talked about it once already,
Well, I'm going to...
but we gave it another shot.
I gave it another shot. And here's what the problem was. We just played Stone
We're all
Age.
about second chances.
We just played Stone Age, the anniversary edition.
Yes.
We turned right around and I said, you know what this kind of reminds me? This is an entry level, slightly a step up type game.
Step
Let's
up.
compare it with Champions
too.
of Midgard.
Dance around the subject.
I did not like, I can barely handle two of you. I did not like Champions of Midgard. It seemed like it was, the theme is, the idea, I like the theme. That's really the
too.
only thing that I like about it is the theme.
The Vikings
But to
are
take,
cool.
but take a worker placement
And you're
with-
fighting monsters.
with
You're
the-
a Viking. What? How can that not be fun? But yet it's not. I don't get
Because-
it. I don't
because-
get it.
because it's very, by me just playing it only for a little bit, it's, to you guys, it's very repetitive.
Very.
Very repetitive.
What is going
And-
on with Enrique having
Enrique.
cohesive thoughts?
Hey, man, he has the hit. That was cohesive, put together.
Continue on.
Continue
Like-
on, sir.
And I'm pretty sure you guys mentioned you do not like repetitive games or repetitive actions. Over,
Well,
That's
Just-
a good point.
yeah, I
Enrique.
said that, and that's what I said. I said
The more
there's
you're on this
not much to
podcast,
do
the
in this
more I
game.
like you.
you either fight a monster or you gather food or gather dice. Fight a monster, gather food, gather dice. Fight. I mean, that's it.
I
Like
wish
that-
I wish Gabi would let you on the podcast more. Don't know why he's
I'm
always
still
like,
calling
he
you
just
Professor
doesn't
E,
like-
man. It was nice. You laid down some knowledge.
That was
then.
some
I will
good.
let him. He's
did good.
allowed.
He's allowed
He's a
now.
BGS member.
Mm.
Enrique,
Yeah.
you can now co-host.
Yay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm taking over the Enrique spot.
Now I have two co-hosts.
Please come on.
Wow. So, are you saying then that you're disagreeing with the whole high rating of Board Game Geek that I just looked up? That's 7.8.
no.
Oh, 7.8 for Champions of Midgard.
Yes, sir.
Everybody loves it.
Everybody loves
Everybody
it.
loves that
Everybody
guy.
So
loves it.
why then do people like it and you do not?
Here's
I
why.
assume
Because
we do not.
it's
There are decent. There's
We're
decent.
snobs.
There is decent artwork.
Uh-huh.
It is very entry level, and the theme is the theme is something that catches people's attention. Vikings and this fighting barbarians and trolls and various other things. The dice are custom, and there is this idea of I'm going here, I'm doing this, I'm going here, I'm doing that. It's a very, very light entry level Euro game.
It could be most likely for a family who are getting their children into board games,
Yes.
or either just having a, like a
Come,
light,
children.
a light,
Let's
light
slay some
gathering or
droggers.
some sort.
Trolls.
It's just,
Troll.
but it's just
Another
a very,
great
it's just
show.
a very light game.
And it gets a lot more love than what it should, just simply because
It's,
of the theme.
it's mainly
Everybody's
toward the
theme.
I can't say words.
You can do it. Come
General
on. There you go.
population.
Yes.
Boom.
Gin Pop.
Gin Pop.
Gen pop.
Yeah.
Block D. Block D.
G
Okay.
Pizzle.
There you go.
Jizzle Pizzle.
Don't
So
get me started.
put it in a crowd, it would get
Because
shanked.
I
a
can
lot of
drop
other
it.
games.
Because
Yeah.
I've got
I got you.
my finger on the pulse of hip hop.
The champions of
The-
Midgard.
yeah, don't say that.
What?
Don't say.
Okay, okay.
What, Gen pop?
Have he
But-
showed you the picture? We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Nice. I made it rain during Raccoon
yeah.
Tycoon.
Did you post that?
No, I haven't posted that. You need to post that.
Don't we have another
But
Vikings game?
Champions of Midgard is just
We
I don't
reviewed
like
it
it.
once. We didn't like it. We gave it another shot, thinking maybe we missed something. No, we still don't like it.
Now Raiders of the North Sea.
Raiders of the North.
which is a game that Gabi dearly loves. I
Not dearly,
You
but I like it a lot.
dearly love it.
I like it. Don't tell me what I like.
Dearly, you're over there fawning over it.
Don't
all
tell me
the
what I
time.
fawn over.
You fawn. There you are fawning.
You're no fun.
It has Raiders in it and has Ark, so I mean, I'm good. I just think of the movie and then I want to
Is
play the
Raiders
game.
on there?
I have no idea. You want me to look it up? I got you.
I like Raiders way better than Champions of Midgard.
Definitely. It definitely. If I had to pick one over the
Better
other,
art. It's a brighter board. It's a better. I like it way better.
I like Champions. I don't like Champions of Midgard.
I do have it, but I don't think I can tell you.
I will say that Raiders of the North Sea is a much superior entry-level game. And if I was going to recommend, this would be my recommendation. If you're a Euro gamer and you're looking for something light and worker placement, resource collection, completely ignore Champions of Midgard. Go straight to Raiders of the North Sea.
Yes.
If you are a Amerithrash gamer and you enjoy conflict and you have a group that enjoys conflict, then definitely Vikings 878 is one of the best Ameritrash games I have played in a long time.
I would say I agree with that.
We had an excellent time playing this.
Anytime I get out of my chair with the excitement, I'm good with the game.
There you go. And
I
there
like
was-
to see Bubba excited.
I do. I don't get excited
That
a
sounds
lot.
weird.
that is very excited. Bubba doesn't get
I
excited
overlooked that
often.
sentence when you said it, but I was just letting it ride.
No, I like it though.
It's good. It's good.
Cut that. You can cut that.
I said it. I was like, Bubba, you need to come over. You need to play this game
That's
because
true.
Jerry said y'all had a good time.
That's true.
I know you like being pitted against Jerry in a battle of battles
true.
and wits.
We haven't talked about Bubba being my nemesis.
Bubba is Jerry's
I will lose a
nemesis.
game just so that I could cause you to lose a game. and in my book, I won.
That's it.
And that is
Bubba
not a
has
good
actually
attitude.
helped me win several games when it's me, Bubba, and Jerry. Because Bubba takes down Jerry, Jerry takes down Bubba, and then I sneak up the rear.
It's not right. I don't know what drives me, but it just does.
Oh, that's the Viking way.
It's the Viking way.
Well, that's our thoughts. If you are Ameritrash gamers, you're going to love Vikings 878. If you're looking for a worker placement and you're more of the Euro type, Raiders of the North Sea is a good look. The hype around Champions of Midgard is just...
We haven't played it with the expansion, which everybody says that's the big deal.
you
I'm not
know
gonna
my
buy
thoughts
an-
on that. If you
I'm not
need
gonna
an
buy-
expansion, it's not a good base
Right.
game.
I'm not going to buy an expansion to a game I do not enjoy to see if it makes it better.
Although we've done that in the past.
I've done it before.
Thank you,
gonna do it
17
this time.
Yeah, I
different
think that's
expansions of Terraforming Mars. That's going to do it for us.
That's a good game.
We thank you so much for your
Peace.
listenership. We thank you for all your well wishes for Enrique. Enrique did get feeling better.
It's better.
He is, although he's still ill, he's wearing sleeves.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully next week he'll be back to his old sleeveless self.
And his hair will be done.
Yes, comb your hair.
That's right.
I mean, cut my
Until
hair,
next
right?
time, I'm Gabi.
This is Jerry.
Peace. It's Bubba.
This is an.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.